Hello, this is the teaser video for this coming Sunday, June 12th. We want to, as we think about what's coming up on June 12th, we want to keep the youth camp in our prayers. That's youth camps kicking off this week. Wayne will be there along with a few of our youth and other people playing in the worship band. So let's keep Camp Eligua in our mind for the whole summer and definitely this coming week for youth camp. But the title of my sermon for this week is Fomo. Now, if you're an older person, you may not know what that means, but it's something that is definitely, I understand, very vital or very important, or it's an attitude for the younger people, the younger culture. FOMO stands for fear of missing out. And it seems that the younger generation, it's kind of like their way of life. They have to be plugged in on their cell phones, on their computers, on social media. They are afraid something's going to happen and they're not going to know about it, which is really kind of interesting when you think that they feel they need to know everything that's going on about everything, because they just don't want to be the ones where someone's talking about something and they have no idea what they're talking about. And it's interesting because that's very stressful, trying to know everything about everything. I mentioned last week the whole ignorance is bliss. I frankly could care less about most things. I do not have a fear of missing out. I do have a little bit of fear of the unknown. I am someone who likes to plan, who likes to schedule, and you almost got to plan and schedule with the idea that some things are going to happen that you are not expecting, and be able to have that leeway in your schedule to adapt and take care of that. So I kind of build that in. That's why I work ahead on sermons. So if something like a funeral or hospital visits or a wedding, some of those things come in and fall into my schedule, they don't affect me too bad because I have put some preparation in. But if you're someone that does deal with FOMO, fear of missing out, and you feel like you need to know everything, faith is going to be very hard for you. It's going to be a tough struggle. And we're going to look at Acts chapter 1, verses 6 through 11. So read Acts chapter 1, 6 through 11. As you read that, look at that and see how it would drive someone who's suffering from FOMO. It would drive them nuts. See what Jesus has to say to his disciples before his ascension, because that's what this passage is. Jesus talking to the disciples about the ascensions, and the biggest thing he tells them is, "You're never going to know. You're never going to know the date and time." And faith is something that we have to believe without actually seeing the proof or knowing that it's fact. And it's interesting because a lot of people won't believe in God or faith because it can't be proven, but they believe everything that gets posted on the internet and social media that doesn't have any proof. It's just somebody's opinion or statement, and they allow that to get them all riled up. So it's interesting what people will take with a grain of salt and believe it just because somebody posted it, versus something like faith, where it says, hey, faith is believing in something you can't see, but is real. I talk a lot about seeing the creator through the creation. I've never met the creator, never seen the creator, but through his creation, I can get a good idea of what the creator is. So as we think about FOMO, see if that is a good description of you. Are you someone that needs to know everything that's going on? Need to be in everybody's business, need to know every little detail about every little thing? Or you're someone that's more ignorance is bliss. The less I know, the less this stresses me out because it doesn't affect me that much. We had a lot of this not knowing when the pandemic started back in 2020. We were given instructions, but we didn't know how long. We didn't know a lot of things. Now, we know a lot more now 2 years later than we did when it happened, but that whole fear of the unknown and not knowing how long we were going to have to be locked up in our houses, how long we're going to have to quarantine, to the scientists and doctors figured out more and more how to treat the different variants of COVID. We now are living lives pretty much back to normal for a lot of people, where we know that, for those who are really immune risk, you still have to take precautions. Most people are pretty close to pre-pandemic stages on a lot of things that they do. So But read the passage, Acts chapter 1, verses 6 through 11. See Jesus' instruction to the disciples. And how does that address for those who have a fear of missing out and those who feel that they need to know everything? If that is something that bothers you, you may enjoy the little message on Sunday. I hope to see everyone there on this coming June 12th. Take care.